Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I'm Vinu Anand at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulae for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such personage on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Riten Dalwadi. His extensive experience and remarkable qualities make him a strategic thinker and coachable professional, known for his hands-on approach to management and leadership. With a career spanning over 2 decades, he has left a significant mark on the corporate world, excelling in operations, products, finance, and IT. His professional journey is enriched with experience and expertise gathered from working with some of the world's leading banks, including Deutsche Bank, Bank of America, UBS, and NatWest Group. His career is a testament to his ability to lead companies, teams, projects, processes, and products, and product management and consulting. Currently, he is serving in the position of director at ValuMeds Wellness India Private Limited, providing essential business support services in pharmaceutical and nutraceutical businesses. So, Mr. Dalwadi, could you elaborate on your professional journey and the key milestones that have shaped your career in operations, products, finance, and IT?
Yeah, thanks, Vinu, for introducing me. I think I may not be able to speak too much what you just told about me, right? I'll just try to keep things in nutshell. So my academic and my professional journey was always complementary and supplementary to each other. And one of them raised each other at certain times. That was only in the initial years of my experience. Later on, I did exponential learning from my network interaction on job experiences, read multiple books, and I owned my library too. Primarily, that was multiple books. Apart from that, I also come from a multi-skill family. That means we had a family, you can say, strategy of going into multiple profession, right? So my father, MSc LLB, uncles into management and multiple academic plus professional qualified degrees. I followed the same strategy. I started my career with a very humble beginning with a higher diploma in software engineering along with my e-commerce, and also supported my family during initial years of my graduation. I was always conscious about multi-skilling, upskilling, money, and creativity. That also means that I started very early thinking about all these things. At the age of 15, I opened my bank account, opened my Demat account, started my first fixed deposit at the age of 15, when interest rate was around 15, 16 percentage, sorry, and invested in stock market at the age of 21. I also funded my MBA using my stock market funds. So that was quite early in my career. I was a CERN certified Java programmer also at a very early age of 19, right? So both creativity, money went hand in hand when it came to academic part. The same followed my professional career too. My interest was primarily into banking and IT. Since both had creativity and will be creativity in nature in future also. Also, it gives exposure to wide variety of other industries too, both banking and IT, like pharmaceutical, real estate, textile, consumer durable, engineering, manufacturing, and service sector. The similar way my career also progressed with investment banking and commercial banking. First 18 years, I was into four top global banks: Deutsche Bank, Bank of America, NatWest, and UBS, and never stick to only my role and responsibility. Always did something more to add value. And when the value addition was done, I was always ready for next job within the company or outside the company. I have worked in various areas of financial controlling, risk, P&L, investment strategies, governance, uh, key risk control, regulatory compliances, product pricing framework, product solutioning. In short, whatever job was given to me, I always said yes. Yeah, thanks.
Amazing and inspiring one.
Thanks.
And that too at such an early age. So something very commendable.
Thanks.
How do you maintain strong work ethics in a fast-paced and dynamic industry? And how do you instill this value in the teams you lead?
Yeah. Uh, this question is quite close to my heart because like we have this family ethics or norm uh, running from my grandfather times, still running in me. Being born and brought up in a humble family background, humbleness not because of lack of resources, income, or skill set or capability, but humbleness because we had this extraordinary quality of loyalty, honesty, we had a strong ethical belief and high moral values. And that had set background for me. Ethics is a very strong word. However, for somebody like me, who is from a highly religious family, I had already almost read all the primary religious books of all the religion, right? And what I have decoded from it in nutshell was doing the right thing when nobody is watching you, and which is constructive in nature and harmless for other is ethics to me. Don't want to mix too many words, but that's what I define ethics. And I instill the same values in my team too. Thanks.
How true. And these are valuable inputs people need to inculcate in them.
Yes.
You co-founded a startup venture to address industry challenges. Could you share the journey of creating and developing the product Trade Eye and its impact on the industry?
Yep, very much. That was my first venture into a product part. Previously, I was into finance, operations, other areas, and I was also at the right time, right place at that time. Post 2008 Lehman Brothers default and financial meltdown across the world, regulators were working to create a new financial system to put controls to stop irregularities and use of loopholes in the system. By 2015 or 16, all investment corporate and retail banking was supposed to implement control system to safeguard interest of customer, employees, stakeholders, and to implement directives, act, regulations enacted by various regulatory bodies, institutions, third-party bodies like World Bank and other institutions. In this majority, almost 99% of controls were on investment banking because it was a riskier part of banking. I and my partners at Logic 4G Solutions, we saw opportunity in this space and were able to secure a proof of concept, which is POC, funding from Citigroup. And then we implemented this also in Citigroup and one other American bank as part of POC. We created a highly sophisticated rule book of 2000 rules covering 50 plus regulators uh, across the world, uh, which will help in detecting, highlighting, monitoring, and reporting exception in sophisticated way for all kind of sophisticated products like interest rate swaps, credit derivative, equity derivative, forex, non-delivery forex, commodity, energy trade on a real-time basis and on EOD end of day basis. And this was in a form of API, you can say application programming interface. That means this could be plugged and played into any bank. Uh, because majority of the global banks, they decided not to build, but to buy this solution because uh, they wanted to benefit from the startup ecosystem. That's what it uh, entails. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you for your inputs. How and when did you develop an interest in ESG and corporate governance?
Yep. This was quite recently. It happened after 2016 when I joined NatWest Group Banks, which was a group of bank which included NatWest Bank, Ulster Bank, and Royal Bank of Scotland. I was exposed to concept of purpose-led banking and career. Previously, the purpose of banking and career used to earn more money. Career was to earn more money, get promotions, move here and there, and at the end, uh, retire. That was the main purpose. But when I came across NatWest Bank, uh, they had a different purpose-led initiatives where they taught not only purpose for banking but purpose for career. Small example would be they created a product. They restructured their product in such a way which were easy to understood by customer, commercial uh, companies, and also business banking customers. Now that was an initiative which was not done by any other bank so early when nobody used to hear ESG and other things. Uh, During the same time, I started involving myself in CSR activities like payroll giving, do good, feel good activity, creating financial awareness, giving career guidance to uh, underprivileged people. And this was done within NatWest and also outside the company. Um, Also, I and my family reduced overall consumption of commodity during this time. We reduced waste and started feeling guilty upon coming upon any such instance where we thought that we have wasted something, right? And with the aim of helping somebody because somebody helped me during the initial part of my career. That was the main purpose behind ESG and corporate governance. Either by guilt or by self-consciousness, CSR activities would be must. That's what we started feeling, and that was a starting point. On the corporate governance side, um, this is bit can be controversial because I was a twice a whistleblower in company, right? I blown whistle because I thought that something was going wrong. Something has to be right, right? And I costed on promotion also during this time, but it was okay for me because I know I could gain a lot by doing this. I strongly believe that imposing governance on self is great. I can be strong on governance, but however, one cannot close their eyes, ears, mouth against any wrongdoing because that's not a corporate governance. That is uh, benefit to me governance kind of structure. Um, so I worked on that and also worked with the whistleblowing committee twice and helped them to investigate and then come out with a solution also. And at the end of the day, it was a part of do good, feel good for me because a lot of people benefited for this. And not only we stopped wrongdoing, but also we closed that particular department in that particular company because that became an axis of evil kind of things. So, yeah, I also, I not only from this corporate governance, from working, but also I'm an investor. That means I invest in company, and wherever I had even a slightest of doubt in any company's balance sheet or P&L or anything, I was I used to write positive, constructive email to those companies, to investor relations, and try to understand what it entails. This was not done with an intention of finding fault, but just to help companies in which I was invested, right? Which could have also helped other investors too. Yeah, thanks.
Great. Wow. Commendable. Again, I should say that. As an ESG and corporate governance expert, what values do you bring to the table?
Uh, so being understood the purpose of business and job or career, right? I understood importance of coexistence, right? Uh, that means that it's not only me or mine, but whatever will happen to me will pass on to other and vice versa, right? It will pass to me also. Now, acknowledgement of coexistence with nature, animal, human being is primary ownership for me. Uh, Now, all activities should be done for mutual coexistence of all. That is my primary responsibility. That's what I believe. And this is the value proposition which I carry. So, whatever I do should not be harmful to other. It has to be harmless. So, with that proposition, it covers all the thing which is required as part of ESG or corporate governance. Apart from ESG and corporate governance practice, it also covers the things which are there, which is not, which is an unwritten rules, which a lot of people observe, right? Now, uh, most people, companies have good intent to work on the CSR activity, and but don't know how to start, implement, and monitor on ESG. I, as a business leader or management consultant, also sometimes help assist people to kickstart their journey to add value and to monitor and track progress. That's the way I work on this.
Thank you so much for your valuable inputs.
Thanks.
Sir, what are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in your field with the changes in technology? That is, and what changes do you expect to see with the advent of IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, big data, and Web 3.0?
Yep. Yep. Uh, IT or technology is quite closer to me because it was always my second profession. I always took input from IT whenever I need a solutioning. Um, but during early 2014, 15, when I worked on a regulatory compliance or proposition, uh, we created framework for big data validation rules for safeguarding and maintaining integrity of data in big data. That was my first major project into IT. Apart from that, I did smaller projects into as a project manager or a product manager. Now, big data also helped us to create wider and multidimensional database, not limiting to just rows and columns. And this helped us a lot to work on the solutioning side of any problem, because uh, then we can start from data and end with data. So on both the side we have data, and in between we have all the technologies in between, right? Also, I've been using thin client since 2004 in various companies I've worked, instead of using the big CPUs, which used to generate a lot of power, right? Because most of the time I used to work on a server, VCS, Citrix, right? Now, this also gives a better operational outcome, even thinking from the ESG point of view, using less energy to get more output. It makes sense when you start using thin client. Apart from that, I've been also using cloud-based application, right? Since couple of years and maybe a decade now, which include Office, Zoho, and a lot of other accounting, financial, operational softwares. Apart from that, I think after 2015 or 16, when the budgets started dipping for most of the banks, we also came across lot many collaboration or communication software applications like Skype, Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Team, and we use those very optimally to reduce cost as well as to create more collaboration and communication across, because I always worked across countries, states, and different areas. With advent of all these buzzing technologies, I see life becoming more sophisticated. That means we can get rid of unwanted activities like floor cleaning bots, Alexa, Siri kind of stuff, and and even now you can do shopping by using Alexa, Siri, and lot many things can be done. But primarily, any technology cannot be considered useful if it does not solve two major problems, that is financial system and healthcare problem, right? And I personally believe that currently majority of technology is used only in these two sectors, and the rest could be secondary or tertiary. So again, to be very specific, in financial system and healthcare, in financial system, uh, the world has to create a sophisticated financial crime prevention system, because you see millions and billions of rupees uh, going into drain every year on year. Also, healthcare, not only in developing countries, but also in developed country where the cost of medicine and healthcare facility is really high and is going high uh, year on year. So I think the technology, when it's leveraged for this to reduce the cost and to increase the effectiveness, that will make more sense.
A knowledgeable session indeed.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your knowledge. So we are building a community of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So what are your thoughts about this initiative taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the whole World Development Corporation team?
Yeah. This is quite close to my heart, this training part. Uh, Previously, we used to call training and then mentoring, then coaching, right? All are different level. But in my first job, I was also given an additional responsibility of training in sometime in 2004, 5, right? And I felt quite good, because sharing knowledge and getting something out of it in return makes you more empowered, right? Uh, Also, majority of the coaching currently happening is at a lower rung level, mid management level, and is skill specific, very generic training. Even CXO level trainings are majority a generic training. uh, Coaching for board member is a topmost level training, because that's the level where somebody can make a heavy impact on customer, employee, government, or any stakeholders, right? And Mr. Pathan and Mr. Mehta, I think they are doing a fantastic job by creating this journey, because a lot of people would have thought about this, but creating a journey out of a concept can be a very big thing. Um, and knowledge dissemination, transmission is not only a noble cause, but it's also elevating level of topmost member in a company. That means the change can only come from there. Again, not to put overstatement, but would like to conclude by saying this: uh, the initiative taken by them is very transformative. It will transform the corporate world when more and more people start associating themselves with this, and will also transform corporate culture from profit to profit people and planet, right? And help us in building better future generation. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your kind words.
Yeah.
Great. It was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire future leaders. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. Wish you all the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute unquestionably has expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a wonderful day ahead, sir.
Thanks, Vinay, for connecting. Yeah.
Thank you.